So Workday Build has three pillars, and the first pillar here is what I like to call the tools. Essentially, everything you need to use to build agents, apps, orchestrations, data solutions, and I'll break them down individually in a minute. But the second pillar is the marketplace. So when you've built something worth sharing, you can sell and distribute it at scale. And when you need a solution fast, the chances are there's someone that's already built it. So these are industry ready solutions that you can always leverage within your own applications. And the third pillar is community. This is the people, the programs, certifications, the forum, just DevCon, anywhere that you can access knowledge on Workday. And we're expanding that the more that the ecosystem is growing as we're opening up the platform. So you'll start to see stuff on GitHub, for example, with example applications. So all of that is also a part of Workday Build. Now, these three pillars, one platform is underneath all of them. So before we open the toolbox, let me pop open the bonnet. So there are three things that where's that? Okay, there it is. Yeah, let's pop open the bonnet. I think these are very important to know as you're navigating the Workday ecosystem, or if you're new to it, if you're familiar with it and you don't really know what this means. I mean, if you're familiar with it, you do know what it means, but if you're very new to Workday, then these are some things that you might need to understand first before you start building your first application. So these three things run underneath. First is the object model. Everything in Workday is an object with like real relationships. So a worker, an expense report, like whatever it is you're filing, these things are understood by the platform, and they're not like rows in some isolated table, or like, oh, you need to access an external database or external this. All of this is like combined together, so you create your own objects and you sort of like extend Workday's own object model. And when you create your own objects, they join the same model, and you can point straight at one of Workday's ships, like say for example a worker, and you can extend that so you can make your own. All of that comes from the same object model. And the second is what is called a business process. So this essentially is what the name means, which is this is Workday's engine for how work moves. So a request, say for example you send a request, goes to the right people, notification goes out, you've maybe onboarded someone, they've accessed the file, all of that, all of that audit trail is included, and the process rides on the same engine. So that's very helpful for the sensitivity of like data that Workday is handling, because you want to ensure that you have like audit baked in to ensure that, okay, this, so the wrong people don't see the things they're not supposed to see, or that the process actually works. And speaking of, people having guardrails between different, correct access, and especially as we are heading into the world of agentic AI and people building stuff and pushing stuff, you want to ensure that you are using the correct security configurability for your application. So the next thing here is configurable security, and this is one central model that decides who can see and do what. So right down to individual fields. So even who can actually even fill in a form is very important when you're dealing with money, data, agents at scale. So your app plugs in when with its own security domain. So you define what your security domains are, and I'll have an example project here that I could just show. So this is a app builder, which is we'll get into it, but if you've noticed, this is where you essentially build your Workday extend applications. And here you can see this pillars already set up for you. So hey, you need a new business process to do something, click on this, add a new business process. You need a new business object, click on that. Security domain, click on that, and you'll get the idea. And this is just me showing an application that this is an app from our app hub, our app catalog, which has like a bunch of demo applications that you can use to start building some cool stuff. So I'm just going to use this as an explainer. And so let me go back to my Scala draw So here's something I want you to remember. Whatever it is you're building, especially with what we've seen right now, the extensibility or the extendability, I don't even know if that's a word, but the fact that you can extend these configs is what it is, and it means that what you're building runs on Workday, not beside it. And I think that's very important to know. So none of the plumbing is yours, and you're not like babysitting anything. You're literally just like creating and adding where you need things to be, and Workday like ensures that these are properly arranged so that they work together correctly and you know where to go to find things. Now we're gonna start with the tools, right? So developer agent. Now if you haven't heard of developer agent, what essentially is you can build custom AI agents unique to your own business with developer agent, and the workflow is honestly just the fun part. So you can describe what you want, it goes and it builds it. It's text to code pipeline. So, and it meets you like wherever your agentic editor I mean, that's what we call IDs now, wherever it is, and you're also ready to, you can already speak over like MCP. And really why this is important, and if you want to see Dev Agent in action, there's a video I did last week. I'll just place in the description somewhere where you can find information. But if you're going to use Dev Agent, you don't necessarily need to, so for example, within the Workday app builder, it's here. It's literally just by the side, because this is what we're used to now, having a text editor right beside where the code lives, which allows you to do faster peer review, in my opinion. But so it sits here in app builder, but if you're using this via, you can use this via like Cursor, via Cloud Code, Google Anti-Gravity, take your pick. And this all connects over MCP with standard protocols, and check out the video if you want to see a deep dive. So you never necessarily need to leave your Workday app to like go to external places to find information and stuff. You can literally just ask a question or help it validate, and it will show you how that works. And it comes shipped, and also we have a early access program for developer agent. I'll link in description if you want to join that, sign up, and let's see how you get along with that. And one thing that I really like about how the approach to developer agent is that Workday comes to you. So now that you have all the details that you love, you can actually take that to your own particular, wherever it is you code, and then, you know, install the extension and have a conversation there, and, you know, help it, use it to build your agent, use it to build your applications, your extend applications, and even ask it for Workday context, and it can help you with that. So under the hood, the agent, essentially whatever agent that you build is, and you don't just build only agents with developer agent, you can also build extend applications. You can use it to connect with third-party tools with orchestrate actions, for example. There's so much that you can do that requires its own video. But when you deploy your agent, right, it doesn't like sit in some sidecar, like something different. Like, remember the security model from under the hood? So the agent can be registered in Workday as an agent system of record. It gets its own identity, its actions are audited, and your user meets its rights inside the chat panel. So for example, if you deploy an agent within your application or within your organization, you can see how you can register it, ensure the right people have access to it, ensure who can access this. So for example, IC isn't accessing an agent that's meant for just managers to help do peer reviews or performance reviews, and you skip that issue. So it gets its own identity, its own actions are audited, and your user meets it right where it is, and it also lands the whole catalog of agent ready tools, if you can call that from day one. So it's really amazing what you can do with this on its own. And that's just one tool out of this toolbox. Now, app builder. So app builder is what we've already seen here, which is all of this. So if your business has a workflow or an app that isn't part of like a standard platform, you can build it natively in app builder. So for example, if you already have Workday, you can get the license to have Workday Extend Pro, I think that's what's called. And you can then start building or extending Workday more into more custom applications. So if you use something like Material from Google Material, so it works in the same way as like what a CRM or what like a Material UI would look like. And the apps that you're building, you can see here the components are this is a project management forecasting app, and you build it in such a way that this reminds me of like working with CMSs, which, you know, you define what you need, the tool that you need, you define the parameters if that needs anything else, and really you can see the UI as well by clicking the preview. You can also view it in your in a new tab, or like see what it looks like when so you're testing in real time, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you can see before you actually like save or deploy or go through that whole process. And we will go through what that process looks like. But the thing that I want to show here is the first pillar, which is Extend. So Extend is one of the things that one of the tools that you can use within Workday Build. And in this tool, there's something called presentation components, which is what I'm showing here. So essentially, you can see presentation components. How is it seen? How is it used? If I take this and you can literally like drag and drop that and, you know, save that and refresh that and see it move to a different, see, moved it. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to pull it back and refresh. So essentially it's a presentation of what your application looks like, right? And then you have components that you can add. You can also add cards, scripts that are needed, so you can call a script if you can define some logic there. And this is what all App Builder gives you, and it's ready made, so it comes out looking like Workday because it is Workday, right? So there's also model components, like I've mentioned. So these are your data, your security. This is where you get the good stuff. You can customize business objects, like I mentioned initially, and because all of this sits into Workday, it becomes like a real business object. And this is that object model that we talked about. So think of defining a table that shows up already wired for reporting, auditing, row level access, because it lives in the same place. And yeah, that's really amazing the way that it all fits together with Extend. So if you've ever duct tape off auditing, done some like workflow engine on the side, you know, it's a nightmare, but this really helps. So you remove yourself from that loop of actually dealing with multiple services and just enjoy building. So in App Builder, when you hit save and deploy here, it validates your code and compiles it into a build and keeps the log or save and deploy, and it pushes it straight onto the development tenants. When you're happy, you can promote it. Promotion levels map onto the tenant. So if you don't have a tenant deployed, so for example, if I do save and deploy, it's going to validate, so you can see it's doing all of that. So it's validating that this app actually works and it has the correct permissions in the ways that it has, and then it starts to build the app. So think of this as like your local CI/CD environment. I'm not going to wait for all of this to finish because this is more an overview to get you understanding what Workday Build is actually about. I think, yeah, okay, it's done. So yeah, you can see the different tenants, and you can deploy to whichever one. Which a tenant is more like a development environment, but you can see it in an actual Workday space within. So testing your app within an actual Workday environment. So all of this is good within the Workday environment, but what happens when you need your app to talk to the rest of your stack? So say you had a CRM, or you had a data warehouse and your internal tools. And that's what brings us to the next bit here. Let me go back to the whiteboard. Brings us to the next bit here, which is Orchestrate. Now, it says drag and drop integrations, but really it's more powerful than that, and we'll get into that shortly. So Orchestrate runs within your application. If you notice, you would see orchestrations here. And if you go a step back, and I just went a step back by going to like the app hub overview of my application, You can see you can add like new, you can add new orchestrations this way. So you can add new orchestrations this way. And say, for example, if I click on one of the examples I'm going to show here, let's see, this is what the Orchestrate UI looks like. So it's a drag and drop builder that runs in the browser, and it handles real-time or batch integrations, and it comes with a library of pre-built connectors plus the APIs that you'd expect. So it has support for REST API, GraphQL style queries through the GraphQL API, and MCP. So if you've ever built any event-driven functions, you already know this shape, and orchestrates fires off events, except here the event source is the business itself. So someone gets hired, the typical step-by-step process. And there's also something very cool that comes with this, which is Developer Copilot. And you can ask it like questions, for example, explain this to me if you've never seen this before. And if you have an example, it can explain to you, okay, this is what this does. It goes here, fetches that, it logs this, and it literally explains the pipeline for you. And it's pretty smooth to build with, because you can literally just like drag and drop things in there, like, hey, I need logic for batch looping, or I need to do something with AWS, or I need to do some data requesting. You can search for whatever components are available and add them there. So it's pretty nice if you ask me. And this doesn't require any cron job or like, any queues or any of that. So there's more engineering in the builder than the phrase drag and drop suggests, but it's supposed to be intuitive. So every orchestration starts from a template and synchronizes when the caller wants an answer right now. And it's also async when you don't want to do a lot of, if you're processing very large amounts of data, you can also be async, and it's triggered from off a business process. So your flow becomes a step-by-step to how the company actually works between start and end. So if you wanted, say for example, someone gets hired, here's all the processes or something, or maybe someone clicks a button in some parkway thing application that you have, and you want to like ensure that they have validated parking, you can also use this to handle those step by step. And you can also like disable step by step debug, and you can export the whole orchestration as like an open spec, for example, for external teams. So it's really nice. I'll be making more videos on Orchestrate because I think it's a very good way of showing how Workday can reach externally for different things, and I want to be giving you more production examples, real life use cases. So yeah, that'll be really nice. Enjoy making those. And just to bring us to like the final bit, this is the data story. So honestly, this one surprised me because Workday Data Cloud is the bridge between Workday and the rest of your data stack. So there is a governed data lake where the objects that matters, workers, positions, journals, anything, they're live data queries for real-time answers straight out of Data Cloud. And its cousin, WQL, which is the Workday's query language, is right over there with REST, and you literally select locations, max years of service from all workers, hit the API, JSON comes back. There's so much things that you can do, especially when you're pulling in data from different places and you just want to make it like centralized so you can access it from one source. Data Cloud is where it is. So if your analytics lives in like say Snowflakes or Databricks or whatever, Data Cloud opens trusted Workday data up to them visually, and that's amazing. So it runs both ways. So when you need to ingest or secure or transform external data, it's into your workflow. Workday Prism also helps you like enrich those records and data out of data in for context as well. So yeah, this is the first pillar, the tools. Yeah, and we can do individual videos on what these tools mean, or different like workshops on what they mean or how they work together. And yeah, that's the power of Workday Build, right? Now for the fun part. So picture this: you prompt developer agent from Cursor, scaffolds, and extend app for say equipment requests, and that app objects joins the object model. So there's reportability and secured from the first minute. And say an orchestration listens for approval events and plugs your vendor API to your team Slack. And then data cloud surfaces like the spend trend in your warehouse right next to the rest of your analytics. So there's so much you can mix and match with this, and you don't even need data cloud. You could, or maybe don't even need an extend application. This could, it depends on where you need it and as you need it, and you can plug them in as you want. So that's the tool pillar. And the second pillar, we just want to, I mentioned this briefly, but the second pillar kicks in when you build something and you want to share it and say, okay, I have an idea, I built something through the built on Workday program. You can distribute your applications at scale on Workday Marketplace. And this is literally just marketplace.workday.com. And you can see different people have different applications. For example, this is one of our favorite, 360 feedback. And there's also, the flex credits by Workday. There's so many applications here, and you can find different products, services, and yeah, you can find applications here. Yours can be here as well. So if you've built something and you feel like, hey, this is cool, I want to ship this, you can do that as well. And the good thing is, previously, because of how Workday's has always positioned itself, you had to be a member or partner in order to have access to all of this. But the platform is opening up with our open developer platform, so anyone can build and anyone can submit. And you can have this, if you have a problem that you faced with, in a company, you can solve it and get people to actually pay for the application. So that's really amazing. Build or you can buy. It's your call. And the third pillar is my favorite because it's about people, right? So if you ever go to forum.developer.workday.com, which I'm going to have to sign into, yeah. Access to the forum is open to everyone. The developer platform is open, like I mentioned. Anyone can create on Workday, and there are like global initiatives where like universities, startups, developers worldwide can build on this and converse with their mates as well. So this is really cool. If you ever have like any questions, you want to know what's going on, what's happening, there's help sections, latest news. There's so much information that you can get from developer forums, or just being part of the community, doing like a workshop, or being a student, being a startup, but there's so much that you can do. And you can also get accredited as well, because if you get your Workday certificates, then you're able to be a professional and you're professional, but like a certified Workday expert. And there's so many businesses that run this under the hood, and that even opens you up to a lot more employability. So that's super amazing. So that's Workday Build. 3 pillars: the agents, tools, apps, orchestrations, and data, all running on the same object model. Now you know what's underneath. Also, the marketplace where you distribute what you build or grab what you need, and the community that wants to see you grow. To go deeper, join us at forum.developer.workday.com, or find a community event happening near you. Follow us on LinkedIn, and yeah, we're always here for you, and we want to see you grow.